Well, hello and welcome back to Maff UK. And yes, this is a short video. It's a video that I'm really looking forward to showing to you because purely and simply it's something that we did completely off the cuff. I'll explain a little bit more in the video later. There isn't very much footage, and there is a reason for that. It's because I was breathing out my hoop to try and get up the hill. So there's not a lot of footage. There are plenty of pictures, and I will put some music to those pictures. And I know some of you don't like the music. Some of you say that it drowns out the voices, and I totally understand that. But it's also about what device you listen on too. If you're listening to it at phone, sometimes the music can overshadow the voices. So if you listen to it on maybe a screen on a PC or your TV or something, then you get a better all-round surround visualization of the video and of the music too. So sometimes it's about what you listen on that determines whether you can hear the voices or not hear the voices. So I take on those points that people have said in the past recently on my last video about the music was ruining it. Not many of you did, but some of you did, and I totally appreciate that, and that's the sort of feedback I need. So anyway, enjoy the video. It is a short video, there's not a lot of footage, there really isn't, especially of us coming down. But rather than end the video with us getting back to the car and everybody going, oh jeepers, how tired are we, I thought I'd end it with a story. And the story is very important because as we were going up the mountain, we noticed that there was an awful lot of people who were very, very inappropriately dressed. And it's fine when it's sunny and it's nice and it's not raining and it's okay, and you can go up. I mean, in particular, there was one person that stuck out more than anything. A young lass in a... They weren't even trainers, they were like little daps, shoes, pumps, whatever you want to call them, and no socks. Look at the snow. No socks. Either she's extremely hard or doesn't fully appreciate where she's going. I'm more likely to believe that it's the latter of the two. And that leads me on to the end of this video. I'm going to show you a video or a story that is a true story, 100% true, and I'm going to put it on the end of this video, and it's about the first time I climbed Ben Nevis, the route that we took, and how the weather deteriorated and what happened. And I want you to watch it, and I want you to enjoy it, but I want you to also remember it's a completely true story. Nothing in that story is made up. And that's how I'm going to end the video. So it's going to be a little video of us going up and me breathing out my hoop and yada yada yada, and then it's going to end with that. And I really want you to watch it because I think it's so important, and we've seen so much of it, and it's shocking. It is really shocking. So I hope you enjoy the video. It is a little bit of a harsh reminder of how things can deteriorate, but they also a reminder of how things can also go the other way too. And more importantly, Happy New Year everyone. Thank you for your support throughout the channel throughout the year, and we'll see you in the new one. I've got some fishing coming up in the next few days, and I'm probably going to do some hammocking too. So I don't go back to work till the 10th, so I've got a couple of days here and there where I can do a little bit of a snurgling, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So I hope you're going to join me for those as well. I'm going to make the most of the time that I've got left before I go back to work in the new year. Until then. Well, a bit hot, although it is quite cold up here. Now, we did plan initially just to have a couple of wild camps up in the Lake District, but when I was speaking to my mate over there, I asked him where he would like to go, whether it would be Coniston or somewhere around that sort of Lake District, and he went, yeah, that's fine. And then I said, well, yeah, I was thinking about Ben Nevis. And what did you say, Andy?
Okay.
We're halfway up Ben Nevis. I've got to have a 5-minute rest and turn the camera on for the first time because we're at the point where I came here last time and we turned left at the lake, which is just down there. I'll show you that now. And last time we went that way as opposed to the donkey track and went up the CMD CMD route. It's short for something, I don't know what it is. Anyway, that's the way we went. This time we're donkey tracking it. It's icy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cold.
It's cold, yeah, and I know Andy doesn't want to sit down for 5 minutes, but I have to. I have to. Do fact. So I'm going to have a couple more minutes. I'll try and get the camera out when I'm going up. But the scenery at the moment is absolutely amazing. I'll do some shots of the scenery and some snow-covered peaks just to get them in before the cloud comes in, because the cloud is due in after lunch. I don't know if that's focusing in or not. There's some really lit up ones over in the distance there.
Difficult to get them, isn't it?
Yeah. Those peaks over there look terrific in the distance. And the cloud. There's plenty of ice on that lake. But it's not completely frozen, but there's plenty of ice on it. Oh well. Onwards and upwards. That's what we're here for.
Upwards and upwards. Do yourself a mischief.
It's not easy, is it? There's plenty of little ones as well, just to upset you.
Both hands required.
I'm not sure which is the best way. Oh.
I'm going to go up and round now.
Yeah, mine's not the way to go. Sod that. Oop. Jesus!
So, Matt, camera down.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be filming this bit. $820 meters, Mr. P.
Fancy seeing you here.
Yeah, I know. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, you get about, don't you, Matt?
Well, it's been known. It's been known. Just look at it. The view is amazing. I just really hope that you might see something when we get up there. But chances are we probably won't. But you never know. Yeah, in the valley where we started, Focusing Valley. There has been very little filming on the way up, purely and simply because I was too busy trying to breathe, let alone film. But we've got lots of pictures that Andy's taken, so we will have some sort of short video out of this, although it being short. Here's the trig point. Andy, awesome brother.
Good that one.
I struggled there, cramp again.
Yeah,
but
got to get down now.
Yeah, well, I'm going to run down.
Like the old days.
Here we go. Well, it'd be rude not to. Anyway, cheers buddy. Down the arch. Medicine. Well, the sun has come out and we have a clear summit and the views are absolutely fantastic. You just don't get enough of this. Very, very rare. And it is busy up here, but what do you expect? It's absolutely fantastic. Look at that. Just look at that. I know on the camera it won't do it justice.
Share selfies.
We don't need to do selfies when we've got a camera. Look at this. That's why people fall off. Well, it's been rather busy today, Andy, hasn't it? But we sort of expected it, didn't we?
Yeah, not as busy as this though.
Hmm.
But it's a nice day, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, the camera one, I've said it 1,000 times already, but the camera will never do it justice. But that is just snow-peaked mountain ranges all the way over to the Cullens on Skye. I mean, you just you just don't get this opportunity. We're so lucky, so lucky, so lucky. Destination? behind that hill down there. We've got to walk down that path and come back down. That lake is called Halfway Lake, so we're not halfway down yet, but we do have to keep resting, because if I don't rest, what will happen is my legs will cramp up and then I'll be stuck and I can't get down once I'm cramped up. So there we go. So I got to rest every now and again, every half hour at least, have 5 minutes rest, and then that way I can get up and crack on. But we'll be down, we should be down on the safe bit before dark. So there's a lot of icy patches coming up that we know about, but when we get a little bit lower down, it's much safer to walk. So if it does go dark, then at least we got the head torches and it's an easy walk back into the car. So not particularly concerned about that. There's plenty of light left yet, so we'll have a couple more minutes and we'll crack on. I'm going to end this video with a true story. I do like my stories, but this one isn't a funny one. Myself and two other guys decided to do Ben Nevis one long weekend. We gave ourselves a window of opportunity, but the weather wasn't going to be that good, but we thought we'd go for it anyhow. We planned, prepped, made our arrangements. I did all my route planning. I had my route cards, I had my maps, folded maps, route cards on the back, opened up, route cards at home. I had my GPS with me, also with my route plans on it, so on waypoints, and everything was as good as I could possibly do. We were going the CMD route. Don't know if you know Ben Nevis at all. You've got two main routes up Ben Nevis if you're a walker, and that is donkey track or the CMD route. The CMD route is a knife point ridge that follows around the north side of Ben Nevis, picks up the north face and takes you up to the summit. You can either start at the base of the CMD route, or you can go halfway up the donkey track, turn left, go around to the climber's hut, and from the climber's hut move up into the CMD route and then approach the north face from that direction. That's the way we chose to do. And as we set off, like you do, lots of people going our way, and more noticeably was a family, mum, dad, Thomas and his sister, and I really wish I could remember the little sister's name, because it becomes quite important later. Thomas had a habit of going too far ahead of his dad. So his dad would shout out to him, "Thomas, get back here. Thomas, slow down." And you thought to yourself, he's getting a grip, but Thomas is getting on my nerves, because he's having to say it to Thomas quite a lot. What would Thomas be, 13 maybe? 13, 14 years old? Anyway, I was getting rather annoyed at Thomas, and I thought, I am going to say something in a minute to that young man and tell him, does he actually understand where he's going and what he's doing, and more importantly, go and listen to his dad, who's back there, telling him to wait for him. But I didn't. Maybe I should, but I didn't. Kept myself to myself and kept out of it. Anyway, that was a mistake. We got to the point where we were going to go left round to the climber's hut, and Thomas and his family were going to continue up the donkey track. As we got round to the climber's hut, the weather started to deteriorate, and it started to get pretty bad actually. The rain started to fall, the wind started to pick up, but we was in quite a sheltered area, so we didn't really notice it. As we got up to the top of the CMD route, however, the wind was now minimum of 60 miles an hour, and we were taking some holding on to get there. We could see back into the valley, we could see back down into the climber's hut. There was nobody coming our way. Nobody. It was just us three going that way that day. And at that moment in time, it got worse. A lot worse. And we then sat together and as a group decided what we were going to do. Were we going to continue, or were we going to sack it and go back down? Now, we could have stayed on the mountain that night, We had everything we needed. We had plenty of food, plenty of shelter, plenty of warmth, plenty of everything. We could have survived on the night, on the mountain that evening without really a drama. We decided to go for it. So what we got, and we carried on walking towards the north face. As we got to the base of the north face, there seems to be like a ladder thing going on, and some poles and the boulders. It spreads out, and there's like these big boulders and poles for ropes to be attached to and ladders to be attached to, because it's quite a difficult climb during the winter. But however, these big boulders at the time didn't seem to offer us much of a problem. We just kept going. I thought at one moment I could hear somebody shout for help. So I stopped the lads and said, right, listen, I heard somebody scream. Our standard operating procedure at that time was to stop, wait for 5 minutes, listen. If you didn't hear anything, carry on. Didn't hear anything, so we carried on. Remember now, the winds are 60 miles an hour, it's raining, and you also, visibility was down to about 30 feet. You couldn't see anything. We kept going a little bit further. We knew where we were on the map, GPS and map, so together we could figure out where we were. I heard it again, but this time, so did Ian. And we stopped, heard, listened. Yeah, definitely heard something. Definitely heard something. So we got up, shouted back, stay where you are, stay where you are, don't move, stay where you are, we are coming. And eventually, because we could spread out a little bit, we had perhaps 30 metres between us. There was 3 of us, so we had 10 metres that way, 10 metres that way, 15. We spread out as best we could. I don't know, as far as you could see, for our own safety. And we moved up the north face as best we could. Now, we did hear the screaming, getting louder and louder and louder, and we would shout back. And eventually, we did find the 2 children. There was a little girl, and she was curled up in a little ball. That little ball was piss wet through, and she wasn't shivering anymore. And there was a lad stood there, shivering. He was very tired too. I looked at him, and I said, "Is that you, Thomas?" And he said, "Are you the mountain rescue?" I went, "No, mate. No, I'm not. No." He said, "How do you know me?" I said, "Because I remember you going up the other side earlier today. What on earth are you doing here?" He said, "We've come off the wrong side of the mountain." "Oh, right. Well, anyway, that wasn't he. Thomas was still talking. Thomas was okay. The problem we had was the little girl. Fortunately, we had all the sugar and sweets and hot drinks with us that you can imagine. We were prepared. We had everything we needed with us. So we set her up. All right, she got my little, I had a buffalo, no, it wasn't a buffalo, I had a softy jacket. I put the softy jacket on it, put a big jacket on her, gave her a hot cup of tea. Also, she had some hot chocolate. She had hot chocolate and some jelly babies. I always remember because I was saving my jelly babies for me, and I had to give them to this girl. Well, never mind, anything far more important than me. But she had my jelly babies and sugar and warmth, and we got her going again, and we, rubbing her arms and legs and that to get her going, and she managed to get up. And I looked at my buddy and I said, "We got to go up the hill. We can't go back down." And he went, "Yeah, I know." I said, "Right. Let's just do it. Let's pick her up, go for it. Thomas, how are you?" Thomas was okay. What I failed to notice was with Thomas actually hurt himself. I didn't notice that immediately. It was only when we got to the top of the mountain that I actually noticed it. He hurt himself. He tripped and scarred himself or something. Anyway, initially we carried the little girl up, but then she started to be able to walk, and we got her walking again, and she managed to crawl a little way back up to the top, which was really good. And when we got to the top, we was expecting to see Mum, Dad frantically worrying and running around. "Where's my child? Where's my child? Where are my kids?" There were 2 guys on the trig point. I said, are you looking for the kids? So I was like, hi, are you looking for the kids? And he went, huh? Nobody was looking for the kids. Nobody. I couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. No signal on the phone. So you couldn't phone anybody. It was just, Ben Nevis has a tendency to do that. And the North Face, no signal. You get to the top sometimes, no signal. It's only until you start descending again can you pick up a signal. The weather was awful. We had to go round to the round to the donkey track again and drop down. Basically, what had happened, that Thomas had gone up in front of his dad, got to the top of the mountain. The weather was horrendous and he thought, this is not fun anymore. I'm cold, I'm now wet, and I'm also hungry and I'm not happy, so I'm going to go back down again. But he went off the wrong side of the mountain because he did have a compass with him, but no map, and he had a phone. And together they were useless. It's okay having a compass, but if you don't know the route, if you don't know anything, it's useless. Anyway, we got them down, and as we were going down into Ben Nevis area on the donkey track, the phone signal came back and Thomas phoned his dad. I quickly snatched the phone off Thomas and I had a few words with his dad, as you can imagine I would do. And we arranged to meet at the car park by the pub at the bottom. Well, that's what we did. When we got there, I took Thomas's dad for a little walk on his own and re-educated him in re-educated him in the errors of his ways, let's put it that way. There were 2 dead kids that day. 100% 2 dead kids that day. There was 3 lunatics who should have turned back, who didn't. We kept going. Nobody was coming up behind us. And if we'd have turned back and gone back the way we came and not gone to the North Face, there would have been a young lady and a young man on the top of Ben Nevis who would not have made the night. Absolutely 100%, I guarantee you, they would have not made the night. And nobody would look for anybody until Thomas and his sister wasn't at the caravan later on. That is a true story, and it's outrageous.
Sure, you know where you're going.
Yes?
I mean, absolutely sure you know exactly what you're doing and where you're going.
Yes!
Well, if you say so.
Follow me.